All right, let's move on. We're going to talk about, oh, this is going to get good. So we're going to talk about sexism. I believe that they're going to incorporate Barack Obama and the things that he said to black men in this conversation. So let's take a listen to this.
Okay, we are here now with Tennessee State Representative Justin J. Pearson, Ben Crump, and Michael Ealy. So they're joining us on the panel.
I guess the representative, okay, he should be here. Michael Ealy. Who cares what you're like? Who cares? Like, who cares? Does he have a history of speaking on politics? Does he have a history of speaking on these type of issues? I don't know. Ben Crump, stop it. Come on. Yeah. Ben Crump, he's the new like Al Sharpton. He's in that category. He went to that school. Like and then we got a comedian. Malcolm X warned us about this.
As a nation, we've never had a female leader. Never. Okay. So there is an unspoken idea that a lot of people have, whether they say it out loud or not. So what was your impression?
Look, I love President Obama. And I think we got to be honest in our own community about the reality of sexism and the role that patriarchy plays in our own community. Sure. I go to churches a lot, and there are people who will greet me and not greet my fiance, who's standing right next to me. So like, there's a real conversation we need to have about what is going on inside of our communities and what we can do to make sure that we unlearn some of the behaviors that are really negative, and that are really harmful. What is also really important is that we do understand the facts. An overwhelming majority of black men are voting for Vice President Kamala Harris to be President of the United States. Right? 80% of us. So, you know, the truth is, you got that one uncle that you need to talk to. But the majority of us, we good. Right? Like, we on the...
This corny-ass fake Barack Obama impersonator. Bro, we know who he was in high school. I always say you can learn a lot about people's experience based on how they were in high school. Bro doesn't even seem like this. Seems like the Democrats just said, okay, you know how you used to create a player in like Madden or something like that? It's like he seems like a created being. How he's speaking is using the same cadence as Barack. Like this is a joke. This is a joke. Listen to what
uncle that you need to talk to. But the majority of us, we good.
So now, if you don't want to vote for Kamala, you're not good. Now, how did they start off this conversation? Saying that whether you're voting for Kamala, whether you're voting for Trump, whether you're independent, we just want to have a conversation. But everything about this is just totally pro Kamala. And what they don't even realize, this is why people get turned off. This is why people get turned off. You get these people that are totally disconnected with reality, totally seem to be disconnected with the communities. And they talk about, they don't realize that we are intelligent people. So intelligent people want to hear both sides. We just don't want to hear you saying just we're going to have an objective conversation, but everybody is just super pro Kamala. How can we respect the conversation where there's no pushback? And in the beginning of this video, I should have played it, but I stopped the intro. D.L. Hughley starts off by talking about the way that, like, researching. He said that if you guys go back and listen to this, you'll hear him. He said that research is challenging your current beliefs. Is there anybody in this room that is challenging anything that these gentlemen have said that is not pro Kamala? Has anybody challenged these pro Kamala views? Sorry if I said that wrong. Let's keep going.
Right? Like we on the same page, but there is some work that we are going to have to do as a community to figure out what are the qualms, what are the issues, what are the problems that 20% or so of black folks who a few years ago were voting Democratic and all that are having. And I will say this about Donald. In our country, our socialization has taught us to praise people with a lot of money.
And I gotta bring something up. So Uncompetitive wrote, future presidential candidate. There, you'll see. I wouldn't disagree with you, Uncompetitive. You want to know why? And you said that you're a white man, and I want to be very clear. This is the type of brother that white people love. This is the type of brother that white people love. They see this type of guy, not a threat, easygoing, going to push all the Democratic talking points. This is what white people love. But uncompetitive, what you're not realizing, and maybe what the Kamala Harris and her campaign is realizing, is that black people don't see it that way. We know that he makes white people feel safe. This type of person makes white people feel very safe and comfortable. Me, I don't. I don't make a lot of people feel comfortable when I'm saying the things that I'm saying, pushing back on certain things. When you can't control me with the same Democratic talking points that you controlled our families for generations upon generations, this is what makes you feel comfortable. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Our socialization has taught us to praise people who are famous.
Right.
Our socialization has taught us to praise people who can get a lot of women and can say what they want and do what they want and have said, hey, that's the image of a real man. That's the image of a strong person. That's the image of a real leader who can just fire people at will.
And let me be very clear. When I said I don't make white people feel comfortable, I don't make white Democrats, white liberals with the white liberal savior complex comfortable. That's who I make very uncomfortable.
Now he's running for president. And a lot of people are like, wait, no, that's not it anymore.
Right.
But years of socialization have taught us that actually that is the image that America has put forward.
Yo. Oh my God.
The image of what you want to be, of the person that you want to lead. So it isn't just a black issue. We got a nationwide issue about the perception of hypermasculinity masquerading as leadership, when in fact it was our mamas and our grandmamas and our great-grandmamas who got us here.
And all the black people that disagreed with me, especially the men, I bet you changed your tune when he said that last statement. I know I got somebody in my head who I'm thinking about. Matter of fact, I know my dad. If my dad's listening, I don't know how he thought about what I was addressing for the first part of the conversation. But do you hear what this man just said? He just gave all credit to women for the reason why we're here. How disrespectful is that to men? Listen to what he just said. This is what I'm talking about. These are the simp men that say what they think women want to hear, that will do anything and everything to get the attention that they never got in high school. This is a problem. Listen to what he just said.
It was our mama about the perception of hypermasculinity masquerading as leadership.
Please listen to this, please, because they start clapping all early and stuff. Please listen.
In fact, it was our mamas and our grandmamas and our great-grandmamas who got us here.
No disrespect to my mamas, my grandmamas, and my great-grandmamas, but no, it was not just you that got us here. This is the mindset of somebody that has never had a strong black father in their household. Because and what's so shameful about all this, as much as your mama can do for you, when it comes to black men, your father is the most influential. And y'all know how I feel about my mom. But it is what it is. When it comes to it, but what do women want to be the most influential to their daughters and their sons? Like ease up. Like the fact that you have a black man standing on it, saying it so confidently, you got all these other black men in the room, it shows the problem in the black community. He just said that it's our mamas, our grandmamas, our great-grandmas that got us to this point. What are you talking about? Whose family is he talking about? That's not my story. Is that y'all's story? That the men did absolutely nothing? The women just got us to this point? We could just thank women for it? Forget what the guys did? This is the problem. And this is why I get mad. And I always talk to my dad and his friends, and I'm talking to them about their generation. They created this. Your generation created this. And I'm not saying my dad, because obviously my dad was in my household. I don't suffer from this emasculated man syndrome. I don't suffer from that, where you just give all credit to women and no credit to your father. How disrespectful. I mean, you know what's so funny? And my dad, I'm sure he remembers this. When I was trying out for the league, and it was like sometime around the spring, I had a good pro day. And it was looking like I would likely sign with a team. They put out a newspaper article. Do you know that they put out a newspaper article making it seem as if I was coming from a single parent household with just my mother? Like, I didn't even understand the reporter that was interviewing me. Like, I didn't even realize they were asking me questions. I know I answered questions about my mom and my dad. Do you know when they released the article, it made it seem like my dad had no influence in this whatsoever? This is what this pandering to women, happy wife, happy life, all this other stuff where black men, hey, my goal is to just serve black women. This is what this has created. You don't understand it. It's like a situation that you don't really understand the impact of it until you see how it impacts the next generations. This is bro, why would you say that? And why would all these men clap? I'm sure a lot of these men are fathers. Could you imagine? I could never imagine me sitting here saying that it was my mom, my grandma, and my grandma that got me here.
Well, I tell you, I'm telling you, and the fro, baby. And the fro, baby. Listen.
Corny ass nigga.
You know what's always interesting? We hear about the polls, and one of the things I know for sure, the quickest way to make a black man lie to you is walk up to him and ask him a question with a clipboard in your hand. So, I mean,
yo, this is what happens when BET puts together a Black Men's Summit and you get celebrities and you get all this other. This is what happens. This is what happens. Oh my God. Like, this is just so disrespectful. And I know that there's so many men that have no problem with hearing something like that. It's sickening. It's so disrespectful. It's so disrespectful to the men. Let me hold on. Let me move on to, all right, we're going to move on to them. Listen to them. Of course, they can't have a conversation without mentioning Project 2025. Let's talk about it.
What was your reaction when you heard President Obama say that?
Well, there are some men who don't want to vote for a woman. Sure. The founders of Project 2025 really don't want a woman as president. Right. And their women don't want a woman as president. Sure. That is not being held to the same standard. If, in fact, you are one of those individuals who believe that a woman should not be president, speak on it. So, like, if you're masking your sexism with, she locked up a whole bunch of black men. Well, that's already been debunked. So what is it? Or she's not black. Yeah. So what is it? What is it that's really...
Why did he start off this conversation talking about Project 2025? This is what's so funny to me. These people, these Democrats, when Trump says something that aligns with their perception of him or how they're selling him as and branding him as, they say, Trump said it. He's got to believe. You got to believe it. Trump said it. Believe what he said. He's being serious, right? But when Trump says, I have nothing to do with Project 2025, I haven't read it. Apparently, there's some good things in it. Apparently, there's some bad things in it. I don't know about it. We have our own plan. Now it's, oh, no. Trump, yeah. Trump's plan is Project 2025. Why are we allowing them? It goes back to the question that I asked when we were talking about West Bellamy. If Trump is that bad, if Trump is really Hitler, if Trump is really a Nazi, if Trump's a fascist, why do you all have to make up things about him? And why do you think that we're going to believe it? It's an insult to our intelligence, if you ask me. It's an insult to our intelligence. I'm not going to stay here too long. I want to move on to, that's the Project 2025 was the only thing that I wanted to highlight with that one. So I want to speak to, let's bring JD to the stage. So I'm not sure if y'all are familiar with JD, Jermaine Dupri. It's Dak. Just want to thank you for checking out our video and visiting the OG Network. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure that you give us a like. And if you're looking to join a community of inspired individuals striving for purposeful abundance, subscribe. And if you're feeling real generous, share the video with some friends and family. All right, I'll see y'all soon. Ew.